LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku is here, but how should you build his hidden potential? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we have a hidden potential guide and team building guide for the LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, who stands by into the Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Goku. So let's go ahead. Let's jump right in. Let's take a look and remind ourselves what this unit is doing before we talk about how you should build him. So we have a leader skill of GT Heroes Full Power, category key 3, HP attack defense 170%, plus an additional HP attack and defense 30% for characters on Pure Saiyans or Hybrid Saiyans. On his 18 key, he is raising his defense for 4 turns, so he's got a little bit of stack in there. And on his 12 key, he's raising his defense for 4 turns while greatly lowering the attack of the enemy. His passive gives him key 3, attack and defense 150%, and an additional key 1 per key sphere obtained. He also gets an additional attack 70% when performing a super attack, with a high chance of performing a critical hit if it is an ultra super attack. He also has an additional attack 70% within the same turn, and an additional defense 70% for 3 turns after receiving or evading an attack, including a super attack. He does reduce damage received by 20%, plus an additional defense 70%, and an additional damage reduction of 20% as the first attacker in the turn. Now, once you take 5 hits, you can go ahead and stand by into the Majub, and then once you collect up 30 key spheres, you can exit standby and perform the finisher, which will heal you and bring out Super Full Power Saiyan 4 Goku, who once out is probably one of the top 3 or 4 units in the game. He is just that good. On his 12 key, he's raising attack and defense for 1 turn, causing colossal damage and greatly lowering the attack of the enemy. On his 18 key, he is greatly raising attack for 1 turn and continuing to raise his defense for 4 turns while causing mega colossal damage. Like I said, he gets you a recovery once he comes out. He guards all attacks for 1 turn from the start of turn and performs a critical hit for 3 turns from the start of turn. He gets key 7 attack and defense 200% and 2 key per int key sphere or rainbow key sphere obtained, and an additional key 1 per type's key sphere obtained, int excluded. He also has a chance of performing a critical hit when he hits with an ultra super attack, and an additional attack 150% when performing that super attack. He also gets an additional attack 59% and performs a critical hit when key is 24. He also has an additional defense 77% for 5 turns after receiving or evading an attack. He reduces damage received by 25% and an additional defense 77% and an additional damage reduction of 25% as the first attacker in the turn. There's a whole lot going on here, and it would seem that you would want to go a certain route with his hidden potential. But I'm here to tell you that I don't think that that is the best way to go with him, right? So let's take a look here real quick and refresh our memory on what the various typings give us as a bonus, right? Since he is an LR, he is going to have a base 5,000 across the board at max hidden potential, right? So that's good, but most people aren't going to have him at full rainbow status, which means you're not going to be getting that full extra buff, all right? Which also means you're not going to be getting the full of your hidden potential equips, right? You're not going to be getting full evasion, you're not going to be getting full crate, you're not going to be getting full combo attack additionals unless you've went ahead and gone for the 2 dupes or the rainbow status if you're a big fat whale, right? So most people are going to rely on 1 or 2 extras of one of these skills, right? Now, reading his passive, you can see that he's getting, where is it here, right? In both his base form, he is able to gain a buff whether he gets hit or whether he evades an attack. This applies to both his base and super full power Saiyan 4. Although by not getting hit, he does lose out on a slight amount of buff, but still with the evasion, he will still pick up the other half of it. Now, knowing that, looking at his, you might think evasion would be good for him. Better to take the chance of not being hit at all, right? I mean, after all, you're going to get, if you were to go the full rainbow, right, since he's an int type, you're getting a 20% increase to his dodge. Add that with any skill orb, and we're talking about a 30% increase to his dodge. However, I don't think that is the best case scenario, right? Looking at his passive, not only does he have, right, that ability to gain a buff from getting hit or by evading, he has guaranteed critical hits. And if we remember back to our hidden potential guide, just our general guide that we did in our beginner's guide, I always made a recommendation. Whenever you have a unit that has guaranteed critical hits, it is always more beneficial to utilize combo attack. And that is true for this super full power Saiyan for Goku, most especially, because you look, while he will be, once you get to super full power Saiyan 4, he's more or less got a guaranteed crit, right? You're going to be getting 24 ki pretty easily with him, especially if he's going to be linked with one of his better partners like the GT Duo or the LR Super Saiyan 4s, and provided you've got some kind of support next to him, he's very easily going to be hitting that, with the fact that he's also getting 2 ki per int or rainbow ki sphere obtained. And even if you don't, you've still got a high chance. That's a 50% chance of getting that critical hit. So you want to take advantage of that and give him that extra buff and power from giving him combo attack. So whether you've got only one dupe, 55%, or even 2 dupes, I do believe going for that 15, in this case 30% increase in additional attack is much better for them than going for the full 30% increase in dodge. While dodge may help you dodge a super here and there, you're really not going to be able to take advantage of his full offensive ability, right? Because once he takes that hit and he performs that ultra super attack, he's now greatly raised his attack for 1 turn, and he's also raising his defense for 4 turns, right? So if he gets that additional super, he's got that extra defense, which means he's going to be pretty tanky. And now this 12 ki is moving up from colossal to mega colossal damage, right? So he's going to be hitting extra hard on that 12 ki super attack. So you really want to take advantage of that when utilizing his hidden potential. So whether you are like I said, 55% or 2 dupes, you want to go for this combo attack. Even that little extra push in his combo attack is much better for him than evasion, simply because of that guaranteed crit. You're going to be maximizing his damage, and realistically, once you avoid, or you take that first attack in him, you're solid. He's not going to be taking much damage that you're going to be needing to avoid anyways, barring a type disadvantage super even after the first attack. But that said, right, we've tested him in Fuse Zamasu. He can tank, once he's taken the first hit, he can take a type disadvantage super from, the Fizz merge Zamasu. So, that's not, you're not losing much, in my opinion, by not going evasion. So, like I said, best deal is additional attacks for him to take full advantage of his offensive capabilities. Speaking of offensive capabilities, right, we want to look here in this hidden potential guide at some of the teams that would be best to allow him to take full advantage of that. So shout out to the guys over at Dokkan Info over here for this 200% leaders chart. We can see here we have a couple different good leaders for him. So we're going to build some teams here that I think would really help you to take advantage of his offensive capability. Right, he's on several 200% teams. He's on Kai Goku's, the Z Duos. He's on the Vegeta and Trunks, the LR Gods, the LR Super Saiyan 4s, Kale, World Tournament Goku, Yamcha, Tech Pan, Tech Bardock, and God Goku. So there's quite a few top tier leaders here that you could run him under if you didn't want to run him as a leader yourself, right? So let's start with what I believe is one of his best teams, and realistically, it's his own team. full power has been getting some pretty significant buffs throughout the year, right? And him also being GT Duo allows, or GT Heroes rather, allows him to run one of his better link partners, right? So one of his best teams that you can set up is a full power GT Heroes team, utilizing characters like the Orange Piccolo, right? Orange Piccolo in most of these short fights is going to do really well. All you need is a Bond and Master and Disciple extra character in here that is on his leader skill to gain that entrance passive. But even without that, as long as you're not in a fight with an AoE, he can survive just fine post super as a floater, ready for that giant form when you need it in the later parts of the fight. This also gives him access to the LR Super Saiyan 4s, which are a really great partner, and provided you can protect them, work really, really well next to this guy, right? An active skill turn with these guys on the turn that he enters super full power Saiyan 4, you're talking about a all-out damaging rotation. Adding more onto that, right, if you guys end up with the GT Duo and their standby ready as well at that time, we are talking about a huge buff for this character. Kai Goku added into this character makes it all that much more better, right? It allows you to have sort of a central linking partner, as well as a character who can take hits in almost any fight, provided you give him the chance to build up, right? He's sort of the core to the whole team, the Kai Goku, because he will provide those extra 2 or 3 links to every character on the team, right? He's linking pretty well with just about everybody on the team. A secondary team that is really, really good for him is obviously a top tier team through the World Tournament Goku on Earthbred Fighter / Battle of Fate, right? The easiest way to set up this team is by running Goku as the lead and STR Krillin or another good partner for him. I like to utilize Krillin, but you don't have to, right? It's up to you, but personally I do believe he is the best partner. He's also a really decent partner for the Goku, for this Goku, because of his ability to tank hits in slot 1 once you get past that turn and you haven't procced his revive yet. So that's really the main reason you want a character like this. This team also gives you access, because this guy also leads Powerful Comeback, to run the GT Duo. So more or less you have rotation of Goku and Krillin, and Goku and the GT Duo. The GT Duo here will proc their revive. You want to try to push their revive early, even though it might make Goku a little more powerful later in his super full power state. Having them revive early will buff up this guy, right? Because this guy, I mean, the extra 80% is certainly helpful with him, right? This guy's going to benefit more from being linked with him than they are with the GT Duo as Super Saiyan Vegeta, after all. So this is a pretty powerful core. You can fill in the rest of the characters with any solid floaters that will fill out the team, right? Goku here is a solid unit to support. He'll be providing damage reduction, the Kid Goku here. You could always throw in Piccolo Jr. You could throw in Orange Piccolo as well. I mean, any character that fits on World Tournament Goku's lead will rock solid as a floater. Another decent team for him is actually another top tier team, the Power of Wishes team, utilizing the Z Duo. Z Duo leads one of his 200%, and gives you access to quite a few units, right? The core is relatively the same as some of the others we've seen here, right? More or less, you want to run Goku and the GT Duo here, so that way they can, you know, have the 4 links and provide that revive later on. Having Power of Wishes set up allows you to run Kai Goku next to the Z Duo, who is a really good link partner. He will allow the build up in slot 1 while these guys build up in slot 2, preparing for their standby. All right, and then all you have to do is fill out the rest of the team with some decent Power of Wishes characters or final trump card. All right, this would allow you to run Piccolo. This would allow you to run Bulma. Heck, you could even throw in Fizz Trunks into the mix here, and that would still work out quite well, right? I mean, pretty much any floaters work here. Bulma might work decently as a floater. You could always swap it around, move out Kai Goku and put Bulma and Piccolo on as a main rotation, so that way you can keep her support up while these two are rocking the second rotation, right? There's endless possibilities with this team because it's a very, very flexible team, surprisingly. Following that, one of my favorite teams to run with the new Goku is a full GT Heroes team. This is always my favorite team. It's not exactly the most toppest of tier teams, but it is a fun team to run, right? Running this team setup, right, you would have the Goku as your lead, obviously. Have one rotation linked with the GT Duo or the LR Super Saiyan 4s, and then the other rotation with Tech Pan and either the GT Duo, who share 3 links, or you could throw in this Fizz GT Goku here to help her gain access to her unit super attack, which will allow her to deal extra damage and raise her attack much, much higher than she would just normally, right? I think it's a massively raised if you have GT Goku, right? So I kind of like the setup of running these two and then these two together, simply because the GT Goku in the LR Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta does count. So guys, that is just a few of the teams that I like to run with this guy. Even though I haven't pulled him, I do test him out on private servers, and I have been using him as a friend, and these are just a few of the teams that I have been finding success with him on. So anyways, guys, that is the video. That is our hidden potential guide for the LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku and some recommended team builds. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, what is your ideal build for this guy and what teams are you running him on? Let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching and aloha.